welcome back to... I don't like the way I started that. It's okay. Welcome back to another episode of You're Gonna Hate Us, a true crime podcast where we discuss true crime cases and kind of just give our very unwanted opinions.
So today's case kind of falls in line with a few other cases.
Yeah, so far Nicole and I have realized that this is our fifth episode.
Yeah.
Holy moly, this is our fifth episode, and we realized that of the 5 episodes, this is our third episode involving a mother.
Yeah, killing her.
Where a mother was involved in the death or the disappearance of her child. Because, like, the first episode, we discussed the Amanda Ham case and how she was involved of the drowning of her 3 children. And then this was last week. We discussed Casey Anthony and how she murdered her child. We're not even gonna
That's not even a
jump around that. And then this week we're gonna discuss the Timmothy Pitzen case, where his mother, as you'll realize, played a significant part in the disappearance of him. Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm just a little confused by it.
Yeah, this is a very, very confusing case, and I think it's even more... This is our first ongoing case.
Yeah.
Also. Which makes it more frustrating, I think. Because, with Amanda, obviously we knew what happened to the kids. I think the most frustrating thing is that we wanted answers as to why. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one
I still want to know why.
We want to know not only why, but how.
Should I just... A little summary.
Yeah.
About
a little background
this case.
Yeah.
So, like we said, it's the Timmothy Pitzen case. So, on May 11th of 2011, a 6-year-old boy named Timothy James Pitzen was dropped off at school in Aurora, Illinois by his father, James Pitzen. He was picked up shortly after by his mom, Amy Fry Pitzen, who took him on a 3-day trip to various amusement parks and water parks. His mom's body was found in a motel room in the town of Rockford, Illinois, having committed suicide with a note stating Timothy was safe. Yeah.
So that morning, Timothy, who was born and raised in Aurora, Illinois, his father, James Pitzen, had dropped him off at his kindergarten class in Greenman Elementary School. Not long after his father dropped him off.
Literally, I wouldn't even say like an hour.
Yeah. His mother had checked him out of school. And they say she had checked him out between 8:10, 8:15, saying that there was a family emergency, but there wasn't.
She lied.
She then dropped her vehicle off at a repair shop around, I want to say 10 a.m.
Yeah. An
employee of the shop then drove Pitzen and her son to the Brookfield Zoo. They returned and retrieved her vehicle at around 3 p.m. and then drove to Key Lime Cove Resorts in Gurney, Illinois, where they had then spent the night. And then the next morning, the two of them drove to Kalahari Resorts in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, and were spotted on security footage there in the checkout line around 10 a.m. The next day.
I don't know,
or that morning, sorry.
I don't know which location this was, but we watched some security.
Yeah, that was Kalahari.
Okay, so they were together, and he seemed fine. Like, he was playing.
He was playing with, like, I think it was like a toy train or something.
So he seemed fine then.
Yeah.
I mean, he seemed fine until he wasn't. Or, like, until... He seemed fine until he was gone.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm, like, playing over here.
Okay, he seemed fine until he was gone.
Yeah.
So, now, that's, like, kind of...
There wasn't really anything off about her. Okay, so his mom just picked up and took him.
But...
And his dad didn't... His dad, I don't know if we said this or not, but his dad went to pick him up from school later that day. You know, when the kids get out of school. And they're like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
Your
wife picked him up and took him.
Like,
So
earlier.
there was a family emergency, you know?
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like, what? But it was said that it wasn't really...
Like, she was a spontaneous person.
Yeah, it wasn't really a weird thing for her to spontaneously just kind of go and do these, you know, weird little things. But it was a little different for her to take Timothy with.
Yeah. Like, she could have easily, you know... I think we'll get, like, more into this, but I definitely think she could have left him in school.
Yeah.
And went and, like, did her own thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, sorry. So this is kind of, like, more into, like, after she took him.
Yeah.
So, between noon and 1:30 p.m. on May 13th, so 2 days after she took him, Amy Fry Pitzen called several family members, including her mother and her brother-in-law, telling them that her and Timothy were safe and they weren't in any danger. While she was on the phone, they heard Timothy saying he was hungry.
Yeah.
Which some people are like, oh, he's like a little 6-year-old boy. You know, like a lot of kids, like, you know, say they're hungry. I still tell my mom I'm hungry.
Oh, yeah, me too.
So I'm like, you know, but like, people didn't really find that super weird, you know, because he is like a kid.
Yeah.
But it could have been. Who knows? Her cell phone records showed that the calls were made from an area northwest of Sterling near Route 40.
Although, so she contacted, you know, like we said, several family members, but she had failed to contact her husband, however, who had been attempting to locate the pair after, again, being notified that by her son's school that he was not present when he arrived to pick him up at the end of the day on her husband's brother.
Let me call my brother-in-law and my mom and tell them I'm fine, but let me not call my child's dad and tell him. Like, that's kind of confusing, right?
Yeah. Those phone calls, however, I don't know if you said this, but they were the last time that the police could prove that Timothy in his
they had the security footage from the hotel. But like they also had the phone call. So like the phone call was after.
Right. And that was the last time that they could place them together.
Yeah.
And then later that evening at around 7:25, Amy Fry Pitzen was seen alone on security cameras at a Family Dollar store in Winnebago, I think that's what it's pronounced. Winnebago, I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure.
Where she purchased a pen, notebook, paper, and envelopes. And then
you say envelopes?
Yeah. You say envelopes?
Yeah.
I say sorry.
It's fine. We say a lot of things differently.
Yeah. You're Canadian. Anyway, at 8 p.m., she was sighted at Sullivan's food store in, I'm going to call it Winnebago.
I'm going to say Winnebago.
Okay. Where she was again unaccompanied. It's okay, Olivia. She was unaccompanied.
So she went to Family Dollar, got some stationery, right? And then she went to a food store. Huh? We'll go into this, like, more into this, but the food store really throws me off.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, did she want, like...
Maybe she was hungry.
I mean, I guess.
Meal.
Yeah. So, she went to the food store at like 8 o'clock, but then at 11:15 p.m., she checked into the Rockford Inn in Rockford, Illinois, where sometime that night or the next morning, she took her own life by slashing her wrists and neck and taking an overdose of
antihistamines.
Thank you. Which is allergy medicine, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I googled it. It said it was for like hives and stuff. You know, like when you're allergic to something, you get a hive.
Yeah.
Or probably more than one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So at 12:30 p.m. on May 14th, so the next day after she checked in, her body was found by a hotel maid along with a note. In the note, she apologized for the mess that she had created and explained that Timothy would never be found, but he was with people who would care for him and that he was safe. Is she talking about her mess, or was she talking about the mess she created with her family? Because now,
oh my god, that's a good way. I guess I just kind of looked at it as like the suicide mess. Wow.
Just feel like,
wow, you're so smart. I'm too dumb to look at it that way. I'm just kind of focused on the suicide.
I just feel like, because now she's like, oh, they don't have like a son or nephew or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, you're right. Whoa.
So she's apologizing for it. Why did she do it?
Yeah. So she apologized for whatever mess.
Whatever it might be her mess, it might be the mess with the family.
I was looking at it too literally.
Yeah, because I think it just like makes sense that she follows that up with, you know,
that Timothy is safe. My thing is like he's safe. First of all, if you had already planned, do you think that she planned prior? Obviously she did because she went and picked up things. Why did she have to drag Timothy with her? I
know. Why can't she just like leave him in school, you know, go do her own thing?
It's in a way can be a very selfish act. So your family's already going to be very distraught in mourning you. So not only do they now have to mourn you, but they also have to mourn the fact that they have no idea where Timothy, their son, their nephew, their grandson, their you know, their friend, they have no idea where this child is. And they're also, so not only do they lose James Pitzen lose his wife, but he also loses his son in the same day. And I think it's even worse him losing his son because his wife, she's dead, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Whereas his son, he could literally be in arm's reach and nobody knows.
Yeah, so this is like a little bit into like the investigation now.
I just thought you needed to know that.
Into the investigation. So...
Sorry.
God, that literally hurt. So
sorry.
It's so true. Like, that literally hurt. I'm completely fine. So police found the knife that she had used to kill herself, but it only had her blood on it. So that knife was not used.
As suspected, you know?
Yeah, but like some people were like, oh, well, did she kill Timothy?
Right, yeah.
But in her car, like in the back seat of her car, there was a concerning amount of blood that belonged to Timothy. Some people said it was because of like a nosebleed.
I get nosebleeds all the time.
But a concerning amount of blood. Yeah,
my nose doesn't bleed that much. Although every time my nose bleeds, I like text someone in my family and be like, oh my god, I'm dying. But like, I'm not.
Yeah, there was just blood in her backseat that belonged to Timothy. Like, his family was like, oh, he got nosebleed, so maybe that's what that is. But I just feel like it's a lot.
Yeah.
For like a nosebleed. Her cell phone was missing when they found her in her car and just everything.
Right.
They couldn't find her phone, but 2 years later, in 2013, her phone was located beside Route 78.
That's kind of crazy. 2 years later, you locate her phone?
Yeah, but
on the side of a road.
But the discovery did not bring any new evidence, which I feel like it probably would. Like, if she's, like, okay, so in her note, she said he's with people that he loves. So don't you think that you would be, like, texting or calling somebody being like, hey, I'm at this location with Timothy, you can come get him, or like, hey, I'm 5 minutes from your house, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you would be like, hey, I'm here with Timothy. I just feel like, and then just finding it literally, like, right beside, like, Route 78.
Yeah.
I feel like that's weird, right?
Very.
And 2 years later, like...
Yeah, that's the part that gets me. What the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
It's a semi.
Okay. I just feel like that's a little weird. Like, let's say she dropped her phone. Okay. So it's gonna stay in the exact same place for 2 years?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure.
Also, the fact that they got into that phone after 2 years is insane. Because, like, it rained, stormed, snowed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, an examination of her vehicle revealed that it had been parked in a grassy area, possibly near like a stream or some water, but close to a highway.
Yes.
They did narrow it down to like a few places, but like they searched them and nothing was ever found.
A thing to note though is that James Pitzen, who is Timothy's father, he still to this day believes that his son is alive.
I also believe that.
I
would say like 75% of me believes he's alive.
Yeah.
The other 25, I'm like his mom did something. I don't know if his mom did something.
Is it 25 or 35?
70. Think of $1.
Oh, you do this every time. Fuck, I'm so stupid. I'm gonna cut that part out.
Okay. So this episode is going to be released on May 3rd. So on April 3rd.
Yeah.
This is when this new thing happened. So literally a month ago.
Yeah.
So on April 3rd of 2019, local residents in Newport, Kentucky called the police and they reported a teenager wandering the streets after running across the bridge over the Ohio River.
Yeah. When the police had found the shaken and distraught boy, he had told them that he was Timothy Pitzen. And the next day, the Louisville, Kentucky officer of the FBI revealed on Twitter that the boy in their custody was, in fact, not Timothy Pitzen.
How weird is that?
It's a little crazy.
Okay, it's like not him, so that's actually insane. But like I'm talking about, like, let me just tweet this out real quick.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not our guy. Like, not Timothy. Let me just do a quick tweet before I like go on my lunch.
Yeah.
That's so funny. It's not funny. I think it's just weird. But the Aurora police spokesman, Sergeant Bill, is it Rowley? Okay, so the Aurora police spokesman, Sergeant Bill Rowley, said, although we are disappointed that this turned out to be a hoax, we remain diligent in our search for Timothy as our missing persons case remains unsolved.
The man who had claimed to be Pitzen was found to be, it's not funny, but to me just so crazy. He was found to be a 23-year-old man named Brian Michael Rennie, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
Who was released from charges of burglary, a third-degree felony, and vandalism,
and a fifth-degree
felony out of Medina County, Ohio. Just like a month prior.
Yeah, literally a month ago. Like, okay, so like in March, he was in this like jail or correctional institution, right? Mm-hmm. For like a lot of charges, a few felonies.
Yeah.
And then he gets out, pretends to be someone, and now he's back in there.
Yeah. So they take this boy kind of...
Brian
kind of, says, yo, I'm Timothy Pitzen, I'm 14, I've been missing for 7 years. And so they take him to the children's hospital where he refuses to do...
any DNA
testing. And there's kind of like, first of all, it's a little sketchy off the bat. But they later, had to do it. And discovered through blood tests that he was not Timothy. And I know that it's like a requirement. They have to do these tests and stuff. Mm-hmm. But if you look at Brian Michael Rennie and look at literally any 14-year-old boy on the planet,
yeah,
you're like, that's not a 14-year-old kid. But I know that it's like they have to do it.
I'm sure like they like didn't want to take that chance of it being him,
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, if you say you are, like, we're just gonna like, make sure everything checks out.
Yeah. And then when he had come forward saying that he was Timothy, Charlie Pitzen, Timothy's uncle, said that when they found out they were very hopeful. They were told to remain hopeful that it was him, but not get their hope.
Is this kind of like pray for the best but expect the worst kind of situation?
Yeah, like don't get too excited. So then they were like, well, they kind of thought, it would be amazing if it was Timothy, but if it's not, at least this young boy who was, had been missing could be returned to his family. And then he later said that it was very upsetting when they found out that in fact, that this kid wasn't missing from anywhere.
Because he was a 23-year-old man.
Besides his own mind.
Yeah.
He's just a little crazy.
Yeah. So, on April 19th, so this is literally, like, from the time we're recording, this was 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Or no, sorry. From the time of recording this was a week ago, but from the time that this is being put out, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, this is like very new information.
Yeah.
So, he claimed to be Timmothy Pitzen, a boy who disappeared in 2011. He pleaded not guilty on April 19th of 2019 to federal charges of making false statements to federal agents. How are you going to plead not guilty? Yeah, in my mind, this is going to sound so, like, bad, but in my mind, I don't feel like he's going to get a lot.
No.
But the judge might look into, like, consideration, like, oh, he literally just got out of jail for, like, a few charges. He's done this before.
Yeah.
We'll mention that. Because he had done this before. He said that, you know, he identified himself to, you know, law enforcement, saying that he was Timothy, and he claimed that he had escaped from his captors and that he was a victim of sex trafficking. And he had pretended to be other missing children involved in sex trafficking twice before.
Yeah.
But if he is convicted, he faces up to 8 years in prison.
Right.
So, I just think it's bizarre that this is his third time pretending to be a missing child.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, it didn't work the first 2 times.
Yeah, why does he think it's gonna work this time?
Maybe because this is, like, kind of big.
Maybe.
What does he do? And this happened in Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess.
Can you drive your semi somewhere else?
In an interview, Reenie's brother, which the guy who pretended to be Timothy, he said, "I'm not surprised." Like, he apologized to the family.
You know, he said, I'm so sorry, and I hope that you are able to find the real Timothy.
He also said he wishes his brother, like, goes to prison for this.
Yeah. And it is so crazy that your brother will sit on national television and be like, yeah, I'm not surprised that my brother would do that.
If my brother did that, I mean, I would never do anything like that, but, like, I just feel like my brother would never do that unless, like,
well, I'd hope not.
I just feel like, I don't know how close they were, obviously, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm very grateful that my brother is a sane, well, normal person. He's up there. He's
sure.
a dick, but
sure. I just feel like it's insane, like, no matter how close you are to your sibling, that they could, like, literally sit on national television and be like, not surprised, you've done it before.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know, after he was convicted of those charges previously, his brother and, like, they didn't have the greatest relationship.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So, as for now, like, he's still, you know, going through this court process.
Yeah.
And that's literally,
there's nothing from there.
So, to recap the whole thing, he pretended to be a boy, a 14-year-old boy, when he was really a 23-year-old man.
Right.
Saying that he was a victim of, like, sex trafficking, and he'd done it twice previously.
Right.
And that's literally it. Some people, I guess now here's the conspiracies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So some people say that Brian Rennie, whatever his name is, they say he was somehow involved with the case. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. No.
Some people say...
I think he's just a troubled kid who doesn't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Like, what are you thinking, dude?
So here's the thing. Some people... Have you ever seen the show Catfish?
Yeah.
Some people are addicted to catfishing, right? Is his addiction, like, pretending to be missing children? Because, like, catfishing, like, you're pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah.
So are you... I don't know. But another conspiracy is that his mom killed him. I don't think she killed him.
I don't know.
Like, 25% of me believes, like, she did something bad to him. I don't
know.
The majority of me...
Maybe she did kill him, and when she says that you'll never find him, but he's safe.
Maybe that's what she means.
Maybe that's what she means, that he's dead, so you'll never find him, but he's safe, I guess.
But in the note...
heaven?
In the note, it says that he's with people that he loves, which also could mean that he's in heaven. Wow. Sorry, it's all clicking in my brain right now.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think there's a possibility that... I mean, obviously, there's always that possibility, but I think there's a possibility that she did kill him, which is very unfortunate, and I don't want that to be true.
Yeah. But there's, like, no body that's been found, and it's been, what, like, 8 years?
Yeah.
So, either, like, what does she do with the body?
I don't know. Also, Nicole and I discussed this earlier, but, let me try that again so I can get my thoughts together.
Okay.
Oh, you and I had discussed this earlier,
Mm-hmm.
where we had read some comments, on a news article.
It was from,
about the, Brian Michael, and people were like, well, now if Timothy watches this, Timothy can come forward. But Timothy is not going to know. I feel like if Timothy is still alive and he's out there, Timothy's probably not going to know that he's Timothy.
Probably not.
So he's not just going to be like, oh.
So let's say,
hey.
this is another conspiracy that his mom, like, sold him to, like, a sex trafficking ring, or that, like, she gave him to some people. Like,
yeah, maybe a different family that didn't know of the situation.
So,
I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure, but let's say she did, like, give him to, like, someone, okay? Let's say he's still alive. Yeah, they could have, like, changed his name, like, I don't think he would know that it is him.
I don't.
Because let's say he goes by, like, Johnny now. Johnny's not going to know that Timothy Pitzen is him.
Is Johnny, yeah.
He's going to be like, oh, wow.
I'm so sorry for their loss, or whatever.
Yeah, but
he's not going to be like, oh, wow, that's me. Sounds like me.
And I asked Olivia this, like, what about, like, child pictures? Like, childhood pictures of, like, him, But, like,
the family could always be like, oh, you lost him in a fire, or you were adopted, and I don't know, but there's always going to be that roundabout way of, we don't have them.
Yeah. So,
and also, if he is with a family, does that family, are they in on this?
Probably.
Do they think that they're just adopting this little boy, or do they know that?
Well, usually you would go through an adoption agency, not just a mom by herself.
That's a really good point there. Good point.
So I just feel like they would have to be, right? They would have to be, like, in the loop. Like, she probably...
That's why none of it makes sense, and that's why I think he's... Unfortunately, I don't think he's alive.
I do.
And I don't want to think that he's dead, but it just feels like he is. Which is very unfortunate, and I really, truly hope that I pray to God that I'm wrong on that. Mm-hmm. But all the evidence is kind of... I just feel like he's not.
I'm going to be the hopeful one here.
Yeah, you should
I'm going to say he's alive. I think, unfortunately, something bad did happen to him, whether that be his mom giving him, like, a sex trafficking ring or, whoever. But I do think he's alive. I don't know why. Like, something in me is just like, I don't think he's dead.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if he was, there would have been a body, and I know necessarily, like, that isn't the case. Like, she could have, like, hid the body really well.
Yeah.
But I still believe he's alive, whether that be, like, in someone's basement or literally down the street from his family's house. And if he is down the street from his family's house, I feel like they would recognize him. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, if...
I feel like, I think if she gave him away to someone who's not in the Illinois, like, area.
Most likely, which is why people think maybe that Brian is in on it. But when Timothy went missing, Brian was only 15.
Yeah.
So another conspiracy that I told Olivia is maybe that Brian himself was in a sex trafficking ring, right? And Timothy's mom, Amy, gave Timothy to the same man who was
with Brian. But then there's Brian's brother Jonathan being like, yo, he was not, like, he's good.
Yeah. So
then that one kind of crushes that.
I don't know, because, like, I think the only thing that really points to, like, him being dead would be maybe the blood in her car.
Yeah.
But they searched the areas that her car was, like, in those grassy fields kind of by some water.
Yeah. And
they didn't find anything. Did they search the water?
I don't know. I'd hope.
I mean, I would hope too. But if it was by water, maybe she did kill him and throw him in there. Yeah. And then he kind of just floated somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All I'm saying is if my mom's gonna, like, take me and just give me away, give me to someone, like, funny. Or, like, someone that I can, like, hang out with.
Give her to me.
Give me, Mom, if you're gonna take me out of this area to hide me,
Mm-hmm.
Take me to Kathy.
That's so funny. We're not shouting your
just
dad
tips
anymore.
tips to my mom if you want to get rid of me. Take me to
We're not shouting
Kathy.
your dad out, as you're gonna be an adult literally
in like 3 weeks.
So Olivia thinks he's dead.
Unfortunately I do think that there's a high possibility that he's dead. And I don't want to think that, because it is very unfortunate. I do want him to be alive and well and be able to go back to his family, but I don't think it's gonna happen that way.
I think I think he's alive, but I think unfortunately if he was gonna come back, he would have by now. You know?
I don't know.
It's been 8 years.
Who knows? Maybe when he's like 18 and he needs to go get his birth certificate or
Yeah, that's a really good point.
something, and he'll be like, kind of like the Carlina White, where he goes to get his birth certificate, and they're like, where's it at? Don't have it.
Yeah. There was this thing. It was really popular. I can't think of his name. He was like on Dr. Phil. That when he applied for colleges, that they were like, "You've been missing for like 10 years, pal." And he goes, "Huh? Like, what are you talking about?"
That's crazy.
And so maybe that will happen.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think
he's dead. Sorry.
I mean, I think his mom didn't give him to nice people.
I want to remain hopeful for his family, but I just don't think he's alive.
I just think there's not enough evidence to prove either of our theories, that he's alive or not alive. Because her note said, another theory is that, I don't know if we talked about this, that she was forced to like kill herself, or she was killed by someone else and then made it look like a suicide.
I don't believe that though.
Because the note was a little weird, right? It was like, "Sorry for the mess. Timothy's safe. He's with people he loves. Bye." Right? That's a little weird. So, I'm not quite sure what happened.
It's so frustrating because it's ongoing. And there's literally no answers to any of it.
Yeah.
We can't be like, so, where Amanda, the kids were found in the car. We know exactly what happened to the kids. The only thing we don't know is what went on in her mind to make her do what she did to the kids. Whereas this, not only do we not know why she not only killed herself, but dragged Timothy down with her, in a way. We also don't know where he's at, what happened, if he's alive, if he's dead. We don't know anything.
I think that's the frustrating thing about missing people.
Person's case.
Yeah. So, sorry. I just think that's super frustrating because, we want to get more into, missing person's cases.
But they're frustrating.
Because, if they're ongoing, so if they still are a missing person, they are missing, obviously. And, so we don't always know what happens. Like this. Is he alive? Is he not alive? I don't know. I think he's alive. I know you don't, which is fine.
I don't know. I mean, I hope he's alive, but again, I'm hopeful, but I'm not. I just have my doubts.
I think if he's alive, there's a very slim chance that he's with nice people.
Yeah.
But my question is, literally my biggest question out of all this is, why would you take him? Why? This is gonna sound mean, but why can't you go do your own thing without him?
If you're already gonna take yourself away and leave people to mourn you, why did you have to leave them with one more person to mourn? Yeah,
and so I would say I think I don't know how her relationship was with Timothy.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if she I don't know, the only explanation I can think of for this is did she hate Timothy? Because if not, then why not let your little 6-year-old boy? I don't know.
Or was it she took him away because she disagreed with the father and the family?
Every single person in the family she disagreed with? I'm sure there was some.
I don't know. I think
because she did call her brother-in-law and her mom.
Yeah.
Letting them know they were okay. So if she had the audacity to call them, why not?
Yeah, but I think she didn't call the dad, so maybe she had an issue with the dad.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if they were having marriage problems or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Hopefully he is found, like you said, hopefully, like, he applies for colleges or, like, gets a job or something like that.
And is able to bring himself home, maybe, or he's able to be found. And in some way, I hope he does come home.
Mm-hmm.
But again,
as for right now, he was 6 when it happened, so not that he would remember it, like, it happening.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe they did change his name, and he doesn't know that he is missing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Is that all?
Yeah. There's nothing else to go off of. It's such a
that's
weird
it. And this is like a short little episode, but we've had some longer ones, so this is like a little break.
Yeah.
So also, this is our second case that happened in Illinois. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm a little creeped out.
Yeah, I'm moving. So that's it.
That's really, that's all there is.
It is still an ongoing investigation, so it is an ongoing case still today.
Yeah.
He has not been found, although at one point we thought he was.
That's all we have for this case. I wish there was more, but obviously it's an ongoing case, and there's nothing else to go off of.
Mm-mm. So, thank you.
Thank you for
listening.
Again, leave a comment below kind of what you think happened, maybe.
Yeah, because I think this is the first case where we kind of have a different opinion on, like, what we think
we don't
happened.
Agree. We're going to fight later.
Well, we're not going to fight.
We fight all the time.
Okay. We do. But, yeah, just let us know. Do you think he's alive, dead, on the same block as his family? In Egypt? Let us know.
Yeah, like, what are your opinions on the case? And then remember to subscribe, follow us on our socials.
Our Instagram is You're Gonna Hate Us. Our Twitter is You Are Gonna Hate Us.
And
that's it. We still don't have an outro.
We don't have an outro, and we'll probably never get an outro. So
we just say bye.
Bye.
Bye.